Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys are all enjoying the start of 2025 so far. Just 2 days into the year, just 2 days into the January transfer window, and of course, there is loads to talk about in the world of Newcastle United. So if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to go ahead and hit that button. Start of a new year, we're getting ever closer to 50,000 subscribers. I know loads of you guys watch my videos pretty much every day at the minute, but still loads of you guys have not hit that button. So if you could, it would be really nice, get the year kick-started in a good way. And as I say, some interesting stuff coming out this evening, lots of reports coming out on transfers. I want to talk to you guys about it, and a certain someone set to return for Newcastle this weekend as well. So let's start off with that one. Why not? Sven Botman, the man we have not seen for quite some time, as reported by the Daily Mail, has classed himself as fit and ready for the upcoming Spurs game. Now, Newcastle have no doubt had a huge resurgence in the second half of this season. It's crazy to think that we are, challenging for Europe, certainly Europe this season, where we are right now after what was pretty much decided as being a pretty, I was going to say a failure, but a poor start of the season. That's how close the league is. A few wins, a few good results, a big win against Manchester United, and all of a sudden, we're where we want to be. We're in the semi-final of a League Cup. It could be a good end to the season if we get it right. If we get it right, and with players like Sven Botman returning, would be huge. Now, do I expect them to start against Spurs this weekend? Maybe not. I am actually quite a believer of playing your best team. You know, if the players are there and the players are available, you should play your best team. But I would also argue that Hall, Burn, Shaw, Trippier have all been pretty damn good in the last few games. And I don't actually think they deserve to be pulled for Botman. And to add to that, he is returning after 2 cruciate ligament injuries. But that said, we want to play him eventually. We're not going to let that hold him back forever. Well, he's scared we're going to get injured again. At some point, we will have to throw him in. Will it be Spurs? Will it be Arsenal in the cup? Could it be Bromley at home the Saturday after? We'll leave that one to Eddie Howe. But the big news there, and exciting stuff to hear, that Botman is back. Now then, 2 big links this evening with Newcastle United and looking for players. 2 youngsters. What we've heard a lot of so far this January window is some big names that Newcastle have been linked with. The likes of an Mbuemo. No doubt everyone would be very excited if Newcastle could pull that off, but Brentford are going to want their big payday. Look at the likes of an Elanga. I've seen that one spoken about in the last few days as well. Again, a player that we put a bid in for at the end of the summer, didn't get him. I think we would have doubled our money on him if we had got him, because he's flying for Nottingham Forest so far this season. And yet again, massive money. And in a transfer window where all we keep getting told is that we have no money, I'm hoping that Newcastle are just spinning that thread. With no money. We had loads in the summer, but it's all gone. It's missing. Just so that when we are going for players, they aren't going, right, this is the price, this is the Newcastle tax on top, and that's a little bit of extra for ourselves. We're playing our cards close to our chest. We're not going out there splashing big bids. We're trying to hopefully, carefully do the job right. But what if Newcastle actually maybe don't quite have the money that we're hoping to do? Maybe we are trying to sell a buy. Is there some other options? Well, as I say, 2 links coming out this evening are for 2 youngsters, 2 bright, promising youngsters. Eddie Howe players. They're both English. They're both talents that can be built on. The first one is the Southampton midfielder, Dibling, just 18 years old, and yet has pretty much all Southampton have struggled so far this season, has made a hell of a lot of appearances for them. He's a player that Newcastle were linked with a couple of years ago. He actually scored to two or three goals at St James's Park in like an under-21s game. And I think ever since then, Newcastle have had a bit of an eye on him. He was tipped to leave Southampton, and he did. He actually went to Chelsea, so at the time he's still like youth player. He was only 16 years old at the time. Didn't go for a contract as such, went as like a youth trainee to Chelsea on the hope that he would get given a professional contract. It's thought that he didn't quite settle, or it didn't work out the way he hoped. Went back to Southampton, signed his professional deal, and now there is set to be a number of clubs interested in him, and Newcastle are one of them. Now, whether Southampton would look to cash in on such an 18 years old, would look to cash in on him right now, or maybe wait till the summer, it's unknown. But we've saw what Eddie Howe's done with the likes of a Lewis Hall, another player who we did spend big on. 28 million was spent on Lewis Hall, but you could argue that was a fraction of what he's worth now. Undoubtedly, for me, the best left back in the Premier League. If there's an option here that Newcastle can get a decent deal, 10, 15, 20 million on a young player who can grow, be trained, coached, and then be getting to that level. Eddie Howe's spoken about before, Paul Mitchell's spoken about it, trying to grow our youth, trying to grow the players. And this is the kind of player that it's not just like, we'll stick him in the academy. It's a young player who can be immediately integrated and then also grow as well. So that's an interesting one. As I say, I don't know whether Southampton would hold on to him a little bit longer. The other player Newcastle have been linked with is a little bit older, 22 years old, the Manchester City winger, or right midfielder, McAtee. He has played a couple of times for Manchester City. As I say, a little bit older. Reported price tag on him is meant to be around 25 million. Getting limited opportunities at Man City because obviously they've got quite a few good players over there. But has recently come back on loan at Sheffield United, playing out on the right-hand side. He's left-footed, so he does like to cut in and have a shot, but he's good on his right foot as well, both-footed. So yet again, 22 years old, slightly older than Dibling from Southampton, but again, someone who could come in, hopefully feature as a bright spark and grow with the side and grow with Eddie Howe. We've seen Eddie Howe go out and bring Asula in, who hasn't quite had the game time yet again. Is Eddie Howe just building him up in the background, and hopefully later this season he can have a little bit more of an impact. So yeah, I thought that was one worth talking about. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on the prospect of, first of all, Sven Botman returning for Newcastle United. Not too bad at all. And then the idea that it's a hard one because we need players now. This is an important January for us. We want to go and try and achieve the things that I talked about at the start of this video. League Cup final, chances of winning the League Cup, European football, whether it be, Conference, Europa, or even pushing to try and grab a Champions League spot off the back of, as I say, Chelsea losing at the weekend, Manchester City having some poor form. There's a place for us there if we really grab it and go for it. To do all of that, this is an important window. We want to go out and we want to bring in players. But if the worry is that you bring in youth talent who might not be ready just yet. I think these two guys have shown that they are ready for the Premier League. Maybe not going to, be world beaters straight away, but can certainly impact the squads, can be a part of what we're doing, and then hopefully throughout this season and then further past that can continue to help Newcastle push. So yeah, thoughts and comments down below on that general idea of maybe going younger talents than big names with everything that's going on. Thank you all for watching, guys. Drop a like and, as I say, subscribe if you haven't already. Two really exciting prospects there. I think if Newcastle went and got them both, that would be a hell of a window, actually. Obviously not the bit and striker, centre-back, goalkeeper. There's other positions there, but in a tough window, even one of them would be a good move. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.